Hello there, thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and Mr. Shake, Rattle, and Roll himself, right? Boy, Big Joe Turner, at just about the most supreme moment in his career. Come on, spring of 1954. And this is the exact month, this concert, April of '54, that Shake, Rattle, and Roll was released as a single, and it truly changed, as you know, the rock and roll world. Now, Joe's previous two singles were no slouches either, Honey Hush and TV Mama. Honey Hush was #1 for 2 months, for heaven's sake, on the R&B charts, and TV Mama was a top 10 R&B hit that had Fats Domino on piano. And they're both on the poster. Hooray, right there under Joe's name, so that's pretty sweet. If the poster had been a little bit later, of course, it probably would have had Shake, Rattle, and Roll on there. And then the second half of the poster, as you can see, is Smiley Lewis, an R&B star of the 50s. The following year, in '55, he would put out I Hear You Knocking, which went to #2 R&B, and baby boomers probably will most know that song by Dave Edmunds' version, which was a top 5 pop hit in 1971. But the show, I'll tell you, belonged to Big Joe Turner, the boss of the blues, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member Big Joe. And interestingly, he was exactly halfway through a remarkable string of 18 straight top 10 R&B hits from 45 to 56. 18 straight, just amazing. And the biggest one ever of those 18? Why, it's Honey Hush. What's remarkable to me is that Joe never crossed over. He never appeared, ever, on Billboard's pop music charts. That's weird because he's just still so totally, eminently listenable. He just sounds great, even in the 21st century. So up here on the top, as you can see in the venue information, you do have Jumping George Presents at the Labor Temple Ballroom, formerly the Ambassador Ballroom, at Geary and Fillmore Streets in San Francisco. Well, of course, you know it was at Geary at Fillmore, the Fillmore Auditorium, but there are other buildings there as well, and with some research and even checking with several San Francisco music historians, I was unable to determine at press time, if you will, if it actually was the exact same building as the Fillmore or the same room. So perhaps that'll, not even perhaps, I'm sure that'll turn up in the comments section below this video before long. Then you can see it does say dancing 9 to 1 a.m. Sunday night, April 18th. It's a very typical, two-tiered, I guess you'd call it, Tilghman poster. And this is an early one for sure. Way down there in the white margin is the very old Tilghman address on Market Street in Oakland. So this is 1954. Now I've already blogged a 1958, very handsome blue and black Big Joe Turner concert poster. So let's go ahead and jump to 1960, 2 years after that one. And here we have one from 1960. This is after Joe had stopped charting records, by the way, but he was still very much a dynamic performer. And as you can see, it does say on the poster, the boss of the blues, Big Joe Turner in person, in this nice striking orange and red design. And interestingly, it's got a nice, in a circle there, picture of Joe's broad, smiling face. What's funny is it's the same picture that appeared on this poster, except it's just reduced down, and you can sort of make it out there. Just the face was used, but it is the exact same publicity photograph, probably used all throughout the 1950s for him. Now, of all the songs they could have used on this poster from his career, including Shake, Rattle, and Roll, they actually chose to use, as you can see, Honey Hush. That's how big a record it was back in the 50s. And that was probably a darn good choice, his top charting record, but from our vantage point here in the 21st century, from our vantage point, we obviously would have preferred to have Shake, Rattle, and Roll on here. I mean, let's just say that you don't hear Honey Hush at weddings, or it's not played in dance class like Shake, Rattle, and Roll is. But that's okay, it was a huge record. And the other one was Smiley Lewis. The opening act here is Roscoe Gordon in 1960. He had 3 top 10s back in the early 50s, including the #1 record Booted, and then Years of Nothing, and then guess what? He had a #2 R&B hit, Right Now. Can you believe it? Just a little bit. And it's on the poster, just a little bit, by Roscoe Gordon. That's really fun. So this, just like the other one, these are tour blanks where the white space is initially printed blank and then it's filled in show by show. So I'm going to actually add, this is really fun, I have a picture of this exact poster from the night before, okay? It's really fun to be able to do this. I don't have the poster itself, but I do have a picture. So this is April 3rd, Sunday, in Topeka, Kansas. And then this one is from April 2nd, Saturday, look at that, in Wichita, Kansas, 140 miles away. Isn't that fun? Well, you know, I don't know how many others there are of this. I mean, how long was the tour? That's just basically anybody's guess. Or it's possible a Big Joe Turner specialist and historian might have some of that info. Another thing to put down in the comments information if you do happen to know that. By the way, the first one was a Tilghman, and this one was printed and designed by the E.J. Warner Poster Printing Company out of New York City. Big Joe Turner, the boss of the blues and boss of some really great concert posters from the 1950s and 1960. Thanks a lot for dropping by. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time for something soon. Bye-bye.